questions, but what I'd like to do is open it up to the audience at this point and see what some of you were thinking. Maybe some of what has been talked about today has got a question or two on your mind, and you don't have to direct it to all six. If you have one of the candidates you want to direct that question to, we'll see how we can play the question through. But don't be shy. It's a small intimate group, really.
I'll ask a question since
Sure.
I'm Kate Ebertz, I'm from the Downtowners Association, but I'm also part of the Young Professionals, and I kind of asked this question at the last forum, but if everybody could maybe quickly go through what they think, or what their plan would be to encourage young professionals to come here and also retain in the community.
Brad, do you want to start down the line?
Bringing more young people. Young people is what we need to bring into this community and make sure they stay here. I mean, every part of our residents is important. We need to have young people here, but what those young people want is they want a good paying job. I've talked to a lot of young people who say, you know, I'm making maybe $12, $13 an hour, which is a decent wage here. But they want more. They want the activities, they want a better paying job than even $13 an hour. So we need to have the jobs in order to have those people be here. If we don't have the jobs, they're going to find some place where there are the jobs. So that's what we need to do to maintain it. Now, again, bringing people in, we need to continue to have the good education, the good police force, the good fire departments, and the good quality of life aspects that people look for. But again, it's going to come down to jobs. If they can't have the jobs here, if we don't have the jobs here for them to make a living, they're going to find a place where they can.
Josh?
Well, thanks, Kate, for the question. And as a young professional in this community, just let me tell you about what attracted me back here. And I think Brad's partially right. Part of it is a job, having a good paying quality job. And I think the city has a role in that, about ensuring we're promoting sustainable growth where we create a quality environment, as I said earlier, that sets us up for the next wave of economic development and high-tech, high-quality jobs where people are going to be able to make a living and want to be here. But the other thing that drew us to Bismarck, honestly, and I can say this with a straight face, is the quality of life. We live in a community that's got safe neighborhoods thanks to the wonderful police and fire service we have here. And it's got great neighborhoods where, as a candidate, not once have I ever felt threatened other than by the yippy dogs that bark and bite at your ankles when you go knock on a door. And I think that's a testament to the people here, but I also think it's a testament to those who work in public safety, in the police force and whatnot, because they're constantly around. You don't dare run a stop sign in this town because you know there's a cop somewhere around, and they do a great job of doing that. And so it's ensuring you work to ensure that we have maintain our heritage in the city and preserve our heritage about being a great place. And last, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this, having a good young professionals network, a place where young professionals can learn to meet up with each other. You know, when I worked in Washington, D.C., it just happened because there were so many different places for those people to do that. In rural communities, and whether we like to admit it or not, Bismarck is a rural community by national standards. Having some of that in place to do that, and I think the Young Professionals Network, which is sponsored by the Chamber, having that in place is a great boon to that too. And I think you're seeing more and more people magneted to that organization because it provides such a great social network as well as support network and professional network in this community.
Paul?
Thank you for the question. I think one of the things, we look at parallels in our church that are somewhat similar to the Young Professionals, and that we have a lot of members that come to the church and after years and they start getting bored and they're going, what else can I get? What else can I get from the church? And it's sort of the same area that a lot of the young professionals are in. What else can I get? What else can I get? Well, the research shows that if you work with these groups to try and actually get them involved in the community, or in this case involved in our church, that this is what it takes to get them. So they're not looking at what does the city offer for me, they're starting to look at what can I offer to my city. We worked with the Young Professionals Network at New Generations Park. We had a partnership. We probably should have fostered that a little bit more. I think they were willing to bring labor to the table where government was thinking money. So we need to look at those things. I mean, you're dealing with a class that quite typically, they might have a younger family. They might be, 23 to 35 range. What I'd like to see happen is in the downtown areas, a 1 to 2 block where it's pedestrian traffic only. I think we can open that up. We can have the shops, we can have some live entertainment, something that gives the community a reason to gather, something to get together. We've got our athletic teams, and that's nice. But I think that's something that Bismarck residents really like to get out when we have our block parties and things like that. They're full. When we have the parade tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of people there. They like to get out and socialize. And I just think that would be an excellent opportunity. Along with education and especially jobs, that's what we're going to need to keep these people in our community, and we want them here. We want to be able to sustain our community, and that's probably the best way to do it, is to keep these young professionals in town.
Brenda?
Well, I have 5 children, as I've told you, and four of our 5 children live in Bismarck. 2 of them are raising families here. Actually, the 5th child has applied for a job back in Bismarck. So I can tell you from my experience that my 2 children that have families, education is very important, safety, and we have an incredible police force. I'm just amazed at the lack of crime that we have, and it's because I think our police force is always, on the watch as to what's happening. We haven't had really issues with gangs or anything, so that's very impressive. But the YMCA has been huge for my kids, and Gold's Gym, and the entertainment, the single kids, the married kids, enjoy, the art in the park, the different activities downtown, the parades, the folk fest, the beer gardens, that kind of thing. I think the downtown has been huge. I think, first of all, it is jobs. People can't come back here if they don't have good quality jobs. That's going to be number 1. Number 2 is they want to come back and they want to have something fun to do, especially the single ones. And right now that is our downtown area. We're getting some fun little restaurants and boutiques, and I guess we're even maybe getting a martini bar is what I've been hearing, and the Toasted Frog is coming in. So it's exciting. And the next thing we probably need downtown is some type of housing. As a real estate agent, I hear that all the time, that there are a lot of people that would like to live downtown. So that has to be something that we really start looking at, is how we can get a little bit more housing downtown, that kind of opportunity. So, like I said, I have 4 of my 5 children living here. They love Bismarck. They plan to stay here. My youngest daughter's gotten really involved in YP. It's been a great way for her to network and meet new people. I'm very impressed with what the YP does. One of their activities was to work with kids the other day, and as mentors to the younger people. I think the more we get our young people involved in the community and have them buy into our community and feel a part of the community with a voice that we're all listening to, they're more likely to stay when they have some ownership. So I think we're doing a good job. I think we're on the right road, and it's exciting to have young people coming back.
Chris?